Noisy Pixel. You wake up, straighten up your hair and clothes, brush your teeth, and head out the door to work every morning. It becomes a constant reminder that some of us aren't doing what we genuinely want to do in life. Why? Well, because those bills that are piling up, they're not going to pay themselves, and our obsession with human interactions gets harder and harder as our best online pictures judge us. Indie developer Krillbyte Studio attempts to convey these messages and more in their adventure Mosaic, but as thought-provoking as it is, the execution is a bit lackluster. Even if you don't work a 9-to-5 job, I feel Mosaic offers some relatable moments for anyone struggling to exist in a city. Players take on the role of a man who is at his breaking point with the repetition of his days. Throughout the game, you notice his studio apartment slowly becoming less orderly as he desperately longs for something to take him out of the situation that he has found himself in. Feelings of loneliness and not fitting in ring true in this story, as the game relies on the player to take things slowly through its set pieces. Life passes the player by on the commute to work, which makes the player's eyes wander across the screen, searching for anything to break the slow-moving protagonist. Usually, something takes the player out of the reality and into a surreal world that exists in the man's head. As beautiful as these scenes are, they become relatively obtuse, and I feel like the messaging gets lost in the game's pacing to capture whatever message they are trying to tell. That said, there are some brilliant moments of game design. It's seen in the sleep aid ads that are right next to the energy ads, and the feeling that strangers are avoiding your presence. In terms of overall design, Mosaic nails this world, but existing in it never seemed to excite me as a gamer. Later on in the game, things become a bit more supernatural as you dive deeper into the character's imagination and witness his desire to break the cycle. Outside of walking in a general direction to get through the story, Mosaic has a mini-game section that describes what the character does at work. This is where the player will send dots through a maze and delegate resources to capture more points until they get to the top. I didn't like this section of the game, but I feel like that's what the developer wanted. It's never fun to do what is considered to be busy work, and having a job that requires you to check in every day to perform the same tasks could lead to some frustrating moments. Mosaic has you go through unsettling moments of gameplay for most of its 2.5-hour runtime, which is broken up with imagination and discovery. Some complicated things are happening in this world, but most of it is an exaggeration of the character's perception of the situation. Still, Mosaic is a beautiful game, and the music that it has stands out prominently in the bleakness of this world. I felt that the pacing of the game, as slow as it is, allowed me to take this world in a little bit more. The longer I played, the more I related to some of what was going on, and I applaud the indie team for being able to create something like this. The developers should be proud of how Mosaic turned out. They set out to tell a story of depression and the longing for an escape from the daily grind, and they did just that. However, it's tough to relate to any of this if you aren't making the right connections. It has nothing to do with the intelligence of the gamer either, as the game attempts to spell all things out, but very little of it manages to hit its mark. I was lost in the world of Mosaic, as small as an audience for this game may be. There were some great moments of light narrative storytelling, and the design choices did wonders to its appeal. However, the actual gameplay slows everything down to a crawl and doesn't make for an approachable gaming experience. I like a lot about Mosaic, but I feel like the story that it's trying to tell isn't very innovative to those who can't relate. Noisy Pixel is giving Mosaic a 6.5 out of 10. Thank you for watching. Please read the full review at noisypixel.net. Noisy Pixel is run by a group of gamers who work hard to deliver news, reviews, previews, and more. Please subscribe to keep up with all our future content.